Imagine this: a young, determined soldier, barely 19, standing alone against 200 enemy soldiers in the freezing cold of the French countryside. With bullets flying, grenades exploding around him, he doesn't retreat. Instead, he charges forward, taking down every enemy in his path. That soldier? Audie Murphy, one of the most decorated heroes of World War II. But how did this young man, just 5 feet 5 inches tall, rise to become a legend? Let's dive into the unbelievable story of Audie Murphy, an ordinary man who achieved extraordinary feats in the face of unimaginable danger. Audie Murphy wasn't your typical war hero. Born into a poor family in Texas in 1925, he had a rough start. After his father abandoned the family, Murphy and his siblings lived in poverty. At 18, desperate to escape his circumstances, Audie tried to enlist in the army, but there was a problem. He was too small, and his health wasn't ideal. Undeterred, he fibbed about his age and weight, eventually joining the army in 1942. At first, no one expected much from Murphy. He wasn't a big guy, just 5 feet 5 inches and barely 110 pounds. But soon, it became clear that his size wasn't going to limit his courage. As soon as he hit the battlefield, Audie Murphy's courage and determination began to shine through. In January 1945, during the Battle of the Holtzwihr pocket in France, Murphy found himself in one of the most dangerous positions of his life. His unit was under heavy attack by a German force and they were quickly losing ground. Murphy's unit was pinned down and it seemed like defeat was inevitable. But Murphy refused to give up. When a German tank and infantry began pushing towards his position, he ran to a nearby tank destroyer and climbed aboard. Armed with just a rifle and his determination, he began taking down German soldiers one by one. The tank was heavily damaged and set ablaze by enemy fire, but Murphy didn't flinch. Instead, he stayed on the tank destroyer, firing relentlessly at the advancing German troops. He continued to hold off the attack for an incredible 30 minutes, killing dozens of German soldiers, even after his own men retreated. His bravery turned the tide of the battle and gave his comrades a chance to regroup and fight back. For his actions that day, Audie Murphy was awarded the Medal of Honor, the highest military decoration in the United States. But that was just one of many awards he would eventually receive. By the end of the war, Murphy had earned 33 combat awards, including the Distinguished Service Cross, the Bronze Star, and the Silver Star, among others. His actions at the Holtzwihr pocket, however, would become the defining moment of his military career, cementing his status as a hero. What's truly remarkable is that he wasn't done yet. His story wasn't over just because the war ended. In fact, it was only the beginning. After the war, Audie Murphy struggled with the transition back to civilian life. Like many veterans, he was deeply affected by the trauma of war. He had trouble finding work and struggled with what we now recognize as PTSD. But one thing was clear: Murphy was not an ordinary man, and he wasn't going to fade into obscurity. In 1949, Audie Murphy starred in his first film, To Hell and Back, which was based on his own autobiography. The film told the story of his experiences during the war and his heroic actions on the battlefield. It was a hit, and Murphy's portrayal of himself in the movie made him a household name. He would go on to act in over 40 films, cementing his place in Hollywood history. Despite his success on the silver screen, Murphy never let go of the memory of his fallen comrades and the war that shaped him. He remained a vocal advocate for veterans and continued to speak about the importance of remembering those who sacrificed everything for their country. Sadly, Audie Murphy's life came to a tragic end in 1971. While traveling to a meeting in Catawba, Virginia, the plane he was on crashed into a mountain, killing him and 5 others. Audie Murphy was just 45 years old. The world lost a hero that day, but his legacy lives on. Audie Murphy's story is one of unbelievable courage, determination, and resilience. He wasn't the biggest or the strongest, but he had something far more important: the heart of a warrior. His actions during World War II showed that true heroism doesn't come from physical strength, but from the will to fight for what's right, no matter the odds. Audie Murphy's bravery remains a testament to the spirit of the American soldier. One man, standing alone against 200 enemies, proved that courage, no matter the size, can change the course of history. His story continues to inspire new generations of people, reminding us all that heroes come in all shapes and sizes, and sometimes they're just ordinary people who rise to extraordinary moments. If you're moved by Audie Murphy's story, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more tales of bravery and heroism. Who knows what incredible stories we'll uncover next?